Shalom, shalom from the deserts of Mystery Babylon. We have a new day. And as we know now, more and more, we're going to be coming into a civil war. And now is the time for his people to unite. Now is the time to be a light. Now is the time for every person to fight. Every single one of us has a light inside and a darkness inside that we need to merge and become one. What that means is letting him light and take over the darkness, because you can't remove the darkness. All you could do is turn on the light. So right now, this is what's going to be happening, and all throughout the world, this darkness has come upon the world. It's the Father's will. He allowed it to happen because we were lawless. So now he's going to test everybody, whether they are following the laws or not, whether they love him or not. But he's going to test them if they're willing to be a light or not. What it means is this darkness is going to be coming up right against you, right, rubbing up right against you. And are you going to allow it to flow through, or are you going to be the light and expose it to? Right next to you, what are you going to do? When it's in you, what are you going to do? You have to go out and say to the darkness, no more. Your darkness can only go so far. I'm here to define you, because the darkness is here to define the light. And I'm here to draw the line and say, no, you will not cross that line, and you will not bring darkness here, because my light is going to overcome you. And that's what he's waiting for everybody to do. And the test is, are you willing to lay your life down for him? Are you willing to lay your reputation down? Are you willing to lay your life, your job, your friendships, your own wife, your own kids? Are you willing to lay everything on the table, to put it on the altar for the King of Kings? Will you follow him, or will you not? This is the test. And so we will see, even in the military, that they will fight within. There's going to be separation from within, and that they would become two. See, the Father wants to separate the goats from the sheep. It's okay. It's meant to be that way. Why are we acting like, oh my God, the world's falling apart? Well, it is, but he told us it would happen this way, and he told us how to survive it and how to ascend. How do we get through all these things? It's through praise, of course. There's nothing else to make it through. We stay here and we're worried about the flesh. We're worried about what we're going to eat, what we're going to drink, what we're going to, how comfortable is my flesh going to be. And I was blessed with a curse to live in a prison of pain. But now it's to bring judgments to the world too. He wanted me this way to bless me, you see. Most people will never understand that God wanted me sick to bless me in the end. They'll never get that. God doesn't want to. Well, of course he doesn't. Just like I don't want my kid to be punished if he does something wrong. But am I a good father? And will I take something away or punish in some way if my son goes astray? Of course I will. I love him. I'll do that to you too. Yeah, it might make people angry the way I speak to them, but hey, I love you. It's okay. It's supposed to be this way. See, the judgments are coming, and they're coming through his people. There's 144,000 people rising up right now that have the power to bring judgments to this earth, to bring judgments to you, to be the light too. What they are is him on this earth. We are ignited by his spirit. That's who we are. He lives in us, and he gets to shine through. Why? Just because we're willing to allow him to fill us with his oil, which is love. What does love do? Does it look like a crazy man telling you that the road is going to end if you keep driving over the speed limit you're going to fall over the cliff, or you're going to get a ticket or an accident. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to be there at the end, screaming and jumping up and down and saying, the road is ended. There's no more road. Don't keep thinking you're going to go on this highway with everybody else going with the traffic. Oh, it's okay. We're all speeding. See? It's okay. Actually, he told me years ago that I was here to expose the speed limit. And he told me a Christmas tree grew up in front of it and was hiding it. And you need to tell the people to slow down, or else they're all going to end up in a pileup. And, I catch myself speeding all the time. I'm guilty too. Father, forgive me. But see, now that I start to go more the speed limit, then it's okay. Then it's okay. Because now I can enjoy life too. And you know how I know when I'm going the right way? Anyway. It's funny because in Arizona they're complaining about how they think that this cannabis will be a problem of people driving. Well, maybe, but it's the same thing with any medication. I was almost killed by a UPS driver on a asthma medication. So please don't. And if you think that cannabis is a problem, my wife, she can attest to that. Do you say that I drive better on cannabis than on than normal? Yeah. Okay. Hi. Good day to you. So I'm here to tell you that when I actually like to drive the speed limit, and I've actually thought that I was on too much before, and told my wife to drive, and out of the blue I told her to stop, and I didn't even know why, but it was in the spirit, and she did, and then she thought, I wonder why I'm stopping, and then went to go again, and I yelled, stop! And if she didn't stop and slam on the brakes at that moment, we would have been T-boned. So I thought I was too high to drive. But guess what? I still saved us from an accident. Maybe saved our lives. So cannabis saved our lives driving. So don't judge what you don't understand, and may judgments come upon you if you do. You see, that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to bring judgments upon you because you've been lied to. You don't think you've been lied to? Well, you have. You have. Unfortunately, we all have. See, I thought the same thing, and I couldn't drive at the beginning because I didn't know how I was going to react, how things reacted differently. But now I'm a better driver than I was before. I actually go the speed limit. That's how I know I'm on the right amount. If I go too slow, too much. I love to go to Colorado and watch all the people driving because they're driving the speed limit on the right-hand side, and it's like, yeah, I can get used to this. I used to always be in a hurry. I gotta be someplace. I gotta go someplace. I've got something to do. I'm in a hurry. I'm in pain. It's usually the pain too. But it is what it is. So don't worry about those things, and don't judge what you don't have a right to. You have no right to judge God's cannabis or God's medicine, cannabosum, that was actually part of the temple service and was actually part of the temple oil and was going on the altar. And I'm sure that priests were getting high. Of course. But everything was meant to be for God's kingdom. See, same with sex. Is sex evil? No. Sex was meant to be a connection to understand something in the spirit. But we're taught this and that, and it's true, and it's not. It's what I'm trying to say is the reason the sex is so evil was because it was meant to be so holy. And so the cannabis is really supposed to be, I know this now, it's supposed to be for the Levite priests, and only the Levites are supposed to make the oil, and I know that. But who's to say who are the priests around the world? And all I know is we've been locking them up. What's that guy I love, the reggae guy? And I know he knew Abba. See, a lot of people know Abba, and you don't think they know him because they don't know him like you do, and you know him like you do is because you were taught to. You were taught like, this is what I believe, and I'm one of this part of this group, and I'm in this group, and I'm sorry. You know what? I'm in nobody's group. I'm in his group. All I do is listen and do, and I offend everyone, even me and my family. But that's him. And I love him. And it's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to correct all these things. I'm supposed to correct all the religions too. Who knew? Little old me. Little old disabled man me is here to correct things. All I'm supposed to do is the only thing that makes me anything, and I'll take pride in this, is in him. I am nobody. Nothing. I'm just basically what we are is just avatars. We were robots, AI, created to just get information and bring it back to him. But those that choose to give themselves back to him, he's going to rise up and giving a different kind of spirit that is going to give us eternal life to live with him in the eighth day. And I got to experience this. It's a marriage of all of us together. First of all, the 144,000 need to get married together. And when we do, we will have the total power so that the earth will be corrected in the proper manner. We are Zion. We are the bride. We are the ones coming from all corners of the earth. We are rising up in the spirit realm and being one with the King. And he lives in us. So may it be live in you too. Most people, they believe because they were born with certain genetics, or they were born into this religion or that religion, that they're the best and they're this and that, and it's all a test. Because what I see in the worldly things, they did it to see who can fit into this worldly thing, and what he's doing is making us rise up, each and every one of us, to listen and do, even when it makes us look crazy or ridiculed or not part of our community. This is the test. You have to be willing to lay everything down for him, to walk with him, and look crazy like me. Shalom, shalom. Have a good day. Know and pray to be ready, because that's all we have to do. We can't be in fear anymore. I've been in fear my whole life. The fear I was in, I almost left 10 years ago, America, because I knew that this is Mystery Babylon, and I knew that the trouble was coming here, and I knew that people weren't going to listen, and they weren't listening to me, and I was like, I'm done with you. I'm going to move to Greece. And then he wouldn't let me. He was making my little son prophesy. This is 10 years ago. How old was he? He was 5 years old, and he was prophesying to me and told me I had to be a city on a hill, and a light can't be hidden by a bushel, and this and that. And it's like, no, you can't run and hide. You have to be a light here. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to be a crazy man, I guess. So that's okay. May the judgments come. That's what I'm here to do. Shalom, shalom, and may you be one with the Father too. Shalom.